See, like, kick will go up in like record timing. Like, it's, oh shit, YouTube worked. Wow.
Say less.
See, and so it says like excellent and then excellent of the vertical as well. But so you see how, like, for us right now, this tab is overlapping the video. But if you look on OBS, they can't see that. Like the way I set it up is so that it's capturing this window. So even though I have like this is over it right now, they still can't see it. You see what I'm saying? It's kind
This
of.
is your screen type.
Mm-hmm.
Tight shit.
So it's kind of a good thing, but and then I guess so I'm gonna look up like a video on this thing to see how I can really like kind of the ins and outs of it because let me just test. Did it pull up? No, see like it didn't pull up here just now. So so this is because I have this for the gaming, and then I hit like okay, and then I'll switch back. This is the main. Okay, and then now it loads. So, but then it does that. So then I'm like confused. Let me try it again now. Let's see if it's gonna pop up. I guess because I X'd it out, it didn't pop up. But like it should in theory because like this is the dock inside of OBS.
All right. We're live though, right?
Yeah, we are live on Kick right now. It says we have one viewer.
Dubs kick. Let's lock in, man. Comment below when if you can hear us. Mic check, mic check.
All right. Just one more time. And then it brings that up. And then we're just gonna click on this and then
Yeah, let's get ahead of the game
click on
tomorrow and like send me the link
should
so I
work
can like send it
immediately.
out to everyone.
There we go. See,
Say
now
less.
it worked.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah. So it'll be
Yep.
all of them right there. Bet. And then yeah, if here, can you come a little closer? There you go. All right, so basically we have sifted through the first like 30 minutes of the Jack Neel and Julian Dorey. I don't know, never heard of this guy. This is a guy on the screen here, but Jack Neel, big fan of him. So we'll get straight into it. He's talking about like the whole Epstein and how that's like fake and how Buddy's still alive and then Charlie who runs the world. So yeah, we'll just kind of see where Buddy goes from here.
Possibility, yes, he's alive. That's the only way that makes sense.
When you think about the first, second, third order effects of the story, the theater, what might it be? Just want to stress test that a bit. I haven't thought about this.
Here's how I think of Epstein. You seen those videos on social media where it's like you see the side of an embankment and it's close up. It's one of those satisfying videos, right? And there's like a long weed right there or something stuck in the side and someone's like pulling on it, yanking it, and you're like, why? Fuck, it's 2 a.m. Why am I watching this? All right, let's put it on 2.0 speed. They're pulling, they're trying to go, and the more they pull, you see a little trickle of water coming out. I think it's a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger. And then suddenly, boom, they pull it and it goes, and the water goes everywhere like a dam just broke. I think Jeffrey Epstein's that weed. I don't think he's the water. I think he's that weed. I think he's just the first one that we can really have a grip of some of the sadistic shit.
So I agree with what he's saying. However, I think Jeffrey was always made to be like the public image of this. You know how like we'll break it down simpler, even in terms of like companies. they'll have people who are truly running said company, but they'll have like the public figure CEO,
Mm.
the one that's like the face, but he's not truly the brains, he's the face. And so I think in this case, Jeffrey's kind of not necessarily the fall guy, but he's kind of the one that's like broadcasted that everybody knows that they kind of can see. And so I think in this instance, I don't like I mean, unless there's other Epstein islands, right? Just name different things. Like there's definitely other islands, but unless these sort of things have been happening on other islands, name other things. I think Jeffrey was the big one here, but then there's like people that are like above him kind of pulling the strings, and he's kind of like the field man in this specific case. But I mean, for sure what he's saying about like the weeds, I mean there's obviously hella pedos that have much influence. I believe him and Ghislaine or whatever are like doing their own thing, kind of on their own, whether they're on a yacht or a separate island. What do you think?
Like you're saying now?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
I mean,
Who
because
knows?
I don't know if you remember, but when Ghislaine had like one of her first things back in front of the judge, people put her image into all the different AIs, all the big name AIs, and every single one of them collectively agreed it was not her. Not only it was not her, that it was not even the same, um, like ethnicity as
What?
Ghislaine.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. And then the Palm Beach Pete, that could be Epstein. Not exactly sure. I haven't
No
looked too much
way.
into it, but
No.
well, because they say like the dental records and certain marks on the face.
That would be something.
Well, I mean,
Palm Beach Pete.
that's how he's famous though.
No, I'm hip. Bruh.
And it is working, by the way, because we did have two at one point.
Yeah, peeped.
That he
That's
was
good.
involved in, that he
And
got
then there
other
it's
people
two.
involved in, that is a real
But
underbelly of society
I haven't
in
had
this
anybody
country
chat
and
on Kick
around the
yet.
world,
Mm.
to where if you pull more and more and more and more and more, maybe you actually figure out the whole game. Cynically, I don't think we'll ever figure out the whole game.
Right.
We're not supposed to, man.
Because the game
Yeah.
would be over, or it'd be different.
over. Yeah. But I will say this. I'm an optimist. I love living in this country for all its flaws. I think it's an amazing place. This is a beautiful little view you got here as well, up on the 58th floor, seeing the whole Manhattan skyline. Like, it's amazing. You look at something like this, it's complicated. I always talk about this. All those fucking buildings, most
I don't like. Why did he have to specifically? I don't know. We can only see the side of Jack's face, but it kind of looks like he's like a little bit like, what the fuck? Like, why'd you have to specifically say 58th floor, Manhattan?
Run that back. I want to kind of see his reaction. Because I know I'd be like, come on, bro. Yeah, dropping the whole...
this country and around the world, to where if you pull more and more and more and more and more, figure out the whole game.
Right. Because the game would be over, or it'd be different.
Over. Yeah. But I will say this. I'm an optimist. I love living in this country for all its flaws. I think it's an amazing place. This is a beautiful little view you got here as well, up on the 58th floor, seeing the whole Manhattan skyline. Like, it's amazing. You look at something like this, it's complicated. I always talk about this. All those fucking buildings, most of them, went up with the permission and assistance of no-show jobs of the Italian-American mafia. They weren't good people.
Facts.
But it's interesting. It's like the dichotomy of the strangeness of the American dream and all that. But I love living here.
Yo, I was speaking about this last night with a friend, and then I was speaking to a kitchen worker. She's from Honduras, and she has no papers. She was here for 2.5 years, working. And now she's like, she has to go back to Honduras, and she'll never come back. She's like, I'm having trouble with my visa because the American president, something like that. But the fact that she left her family for almost 3 years to work here, to then bring the money back there to maybe never come back here. Like, man, it hit me. I was like, wow, like this American dream, you know, she came just to work, 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 work. Now go back with her children. She's like, it's hard there because there's less money, but she's going back with a nice bag for
I
sure. But wow.
I remember like working in the restaurants. I used to always think, and I had said this to my mom because
Mm,
through college, like she was a server. I was like, do you think these people ever feel almost like lied to, or kind of because a lot of these, especially a couple of years ago, the majority of um, like some of the people that do the toughest jobs in the restaurants are like Hispanic, especially here in Colombia because it's a sanctuary city. Some of them are illegal.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, do you think any of them were kind of like lied to, whereas they thought, you come to America and it's like this dream, happy, whatever, but then they're here and they're working 7 days a week in the grimy, like gutter kind of,
I
some
feel
like
like
really
that's
tough.
everywhere though in the United States. I swear, like every other restaurant you go to,
Yeah.
kitchen staff is Hispanic
Well, yeah, like when I was in
or
Alabama, it was like
illegal
all the
aliens.
T-town heads.
I wouldn't even say Hispanic, but just illegal aliens.
It was like the like T-town heads down there.
Mm,
There was no like Hispanics, but I mean, what I do know is that like you said, they do make more money here as opposed to there, and then they send the majority of it back home. So it's
mm-hmm.
like a
Or
trade-off.
they're getting sent back, and like
Yeah.
they can't come back, and
Well, here
it's
in
like wow.
Colombia, it doesn't really happen. I mean, for her, it's like she might have issues renewing the
But he's
same
fucking
kind.
dropping the low or what?
I mean, it,
But it's all Gucci, bro.
I mean,
We're ready, bro.
I don't really care, because it's like it's not even that I don't care, but it's like there's so many things that like they're already gonna know that we're in like Colombia,
Yeah, when he's
MD.
saying
Like it's
Colombia,
not.
it's like Colombia, the Latin country. Um, yeah, it gets pretty hectic there,
I
man.
mean, just know we practice our rights, so
Yeah,
don't pull up. That's what I'm saying. Unless it's like an event, it's a little different. Anyway.
yeah. But bro, that was well said from him. Like,
Yeah. No, but that reminds me. Isn't it interesting? He was talking about the Italian mob. Isn't it interesting? Like we don't
yes.
ever hear like it's almost like they purposely hide that shit from us, like how much the Italian mobsters had an impact on early America, especially in like New York. Like you just I don't know. It reminds me of even like the Peaky Blinders when that show became
Was
popular.
peaking, no pun
Yeah.
intended.
There were so many people that were so quick to be like, "Oh, they were just in reality they were just like a low-level gang that was robbing this and that." Blah, blah. It's like anytime they show any sort of like strong males that have grouped together in gangs, because men have always been like gang across time, they're so quick to shoot it down because they don't want men kind of like reuniting into that strong force, because then we can, stand up to what we don't believe in.
Seriously.
Steve. Anyway.
I think there's way more good in humanity than there is bad.
I agree.
I think that there's a rot in all places some way, and I think it's particularly gnawing when the rot involves elite people who had the most opportunities in life, the best educations, all that stuff, and decide to spit in your face and tell you how things are going to go. But
Mm,
I do caution people. Like all these people talk about the civil wars and shit like that, and I hate that stuff. Like those are big terms. You should not. People throw that around, and I have always talked that down and been like, stop,
that's smooth.
stop. Don't put that stuff in the universe. What I will say, and I don't say this to be hypocritical, I just say it to be self-aware, is if people for some reason think they've watched enough Netflix and lived in enough just basic comfort of roof over their head, running water, and not running outside and getting mauled by a bear and whatever in the comfortable society we now live in to some extent in 2026, to those people who think that because of all that stuff things couldn't get so bad at this point such that something like a French Revolution could happen, I would caution them to remove that assumption, because the fact of the matter is human nature does not change, and mobs can rule sometimes. If you want to see a small effect of that, go look at some cities in June 2020. It was kind of interesting out here, you know? And I remember my friend Matt Kamenash said all the way back in episode 43 of my show, he's like, when inflation's at 10 to 15%, just talking about money in this case, forget all the other stuff. When inflation's at 10 to 15%, people are mad. Even if they don't know what inflation is, they can feel it. When inflation's at 40 to 50%, people are in the streets. He's like, you don't want to test that. And I think that we're living through such a strange social, cultural, economic, political time to where they're all enmeshed together, and there's a lot of the rot being exposed because people have access to things like this and messaging and real information, fake information, and the mix of the noise of everything, that if certain opportunities continue to get less and less, and things like, say, the middle class continue to be shrunk and shrunk more, and people start to not see the modicum or the prime example of what the American dream was: wife, family, kids, yard, fence. You're not going to be saying, well, hello, welcome to Walmart when you're 95. Like, that's the simple thing. Not everyone has huge dreams like you and me, Jack, and that's fine. In fact, the average person does not. They just want the basic things in life and to do a job they enjoy. The more they see those opportunities shrink, and the more we continue to go down this pathway of making it an economic decision as to whether or not to have a fucking child, which is a real problem, something bad could happen. And I don't want to see that. I want to be a part of the solution in my little corner of the internet and hope a lot of people join me there, right? But
you're someone that's had conversations around the rise and fall of empires.
Right.
Does it benefit the ruling class to have an empire collapse?
Oh.
Like, who benefited most when Rome fell, maybe?
Well, that's the thing. And this is where I'd want to get like Toldenstone in here, like a real expert on that, to really cook and make sure I get it right. I don't want to get it wrong. Like, I'm a fan of that stuff, but I'm not an expert on it. I don't know the answer to that question. Maybe some people, like the rat lines of the Nazis, if you will, were able to live a good life after that with money and, just enjoy the chaos. I maybe. But I would think my instant reaction would be that they weren't too happy that it fell. They got complacent. And they thought, we can do whatever we want. We can fuck over whoever we want. And what are the plebs going to do about it? And then they found out. And maybe they found out in the form of society crumbling so much that their borders were vulnerable, their military was vulnerable, and other conquerors who were more hungry could come in and take advantage of the situation, which is how a lot of these things end. So it's a very good question that I'm not entirely sure the answer to, but I guess those are the possibilities.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think the way humans operate in general, we're kind of designed for some of us to be so greedy that every empire collapses inevitably.
Yes.
And that's
It's
really
a
one of the main
cycle.
things that leads to it. But I do want to pull back on, like, you're someone that's sat down with various victims of Epstein, and we said something along the lines of, it's all theater. And to someone like me who hasn't met a lot of people associated with Epstein or like talked to like any of his victims, it's like, is this guy even real? But like, you're someone that knows that's the case. Episode 394 and 398, you had a woman named Lisa Phillips on your show, a survivor of the many crimes of Epstein. What was the most disturbing thing she told you about Epstein?
His eyes. The way he looked when he was doing it. There was no...
Bruh. I don't even believe that.
Like his eyes.
No, the way he just said it like that, like, it makes me just not believe him or her eyes when he was doing it. When he was doing it.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't.
come on, bro.
My read on this guy. I don't know that I trust him.
It's like he's theatrical too.
Yeah.
Ironically
Yeah.
speaking, it's like it's for the content. It's just content.
Yeah. I really like Jack Neel.
Yeah, he's like
This
pretty
guy-
like content.
Well, and he asked like the
Whoa,
great questions.
no pun intended.
He asked like phenomenal questions. This guy, I don't know, because like I said, I've never even seen anything about him prior to this.
Mm.
But yeah, I would. I mean, heard some of the horror stories, like just in people saying certain things. So never have I ever heard somebody say like his eyes. Like I get, even if he's like a demon, right? Like his eyes would be
Would be
whatever.
the teller, yep.
But I'm saying like there's clearly much more severe things than just the look of his eyes, because a lot of these women, like, it wasn't even necessarily him. It was like him kind of sending them off with these different men, and they were doing the different things, and they're, satanic, whatever. But
Yeah.
see, like,
And it's wild because this is just what we know. Like being overseas, and I've met people that come from a family line of like rituals. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna join my grandma for a ritual. Like, do you want to come? Like, I remember a guy on the side of the road. Like, I met him through another friend. He's, you need a ride home? I'm like, sure. He's like, we're gonna go do this thing really quick. It'll take 10 minutes. Like, just come with us. Come with us. And then he ended up telling me it was like a ritual, and it runs in his family, and he wanted me there. And it's so weird because like I kept meeting these like certain people, like some I just felt that were like not like one guy, and like specifically it didn't have the much physical money, but people were like gravitating towards him. And one guy told me like, yeah, that guy there is spiritually rich. And it like blew my mind. I'm like, I haven't even thought of things like that before. And he was just like on it, man. Like with the moon and the phases of this, he's like, you should start planning your season now. Like he every day it was like he was on it, bro. And not only talking about it, physically the most fit person I've ever met in my life. Um, yeah, like there's actually, just as there are spiritually rich people, there's spiritually like dark people as well.
yeah,
And like it goes on more than just in North America. Like people are so caught up in this theatrical stuff that we forget that, oh, there's other things in other countries as well that go untalked about. And I was a witness of that. Like whether it's like animals getting sacrificed, or this guy explained it. He was like, we use the number 8, and everyone like involved, basically like we could basically use anyone once like you join the ritual or something, and like we all could focus on you. If we all think about you, then you have this super brain power of like something. And like he was making sense, but then I would not understand at the same time.
yeah.
But then he was like, it runs in his family. That's when I was like, whoa, this is like decades of this stuff. And it made me less afraid of it, like, oh, like this is his, it runs in his family, right? And it's something to do with tradition. There's some tradition involved. Like
Yeah.
we get caught up in bad, the worst of the worst. It's all the time, it's like, nah, that's what they want us to focus on, man. The bad and the evil. But nah, like they were saying, there's definitely more good than bad, for sure. Just as like God will overcome the devil at the end of the day, like even if it might not seem like it, because the deceiving and the lies and it might not look like it, or you might think you're alone, but you're not. Like seriously.
Well, even like simply put,
Hmm.
if let's say like you just take 100% of something, even like that screen, right?
Mm.
Even if 99% of that is dark,
Mm.
like if you turn the brightness on to 1%, it overcomes it. Like you still see something.
Wow. Or
And
reflection even.
yeah, or even in like a room, if it's 99% dark but there's 1% light, you still see something.
Mm.
So the light will always overcome the dark as long as it's there. And since Jesus has proven that he's, you know, not killable even as a human, but furthermore, like as our Lord, like he's just not like he's always with us. Like he can't go away. Whatever the case, however you want to say it, like
Yeah.
the light's always there. So the light will always overcome as long as it's even just 1% there. But it's much more than 1%. But the point is that even in the darkest of rooms, a singular light like shines over it.
That's tough.
He was the worst kind of sociopath. He was the one that could feign empathy but feel none of it. I hope I'm saying that right. So if I didn't do her justice, I apologize. But the way when he was first attacking her she was attacked on the island for the first time, the ease and the total, obviously in a completely sick, sadistic way for the love of the game, he was just doing it so he could. That really stuck with me. And I had heard that before secondhand from other victims. I don't know, it's a little different when you're hearing it from someone who lived it.
Right.
When you're sitting with them like this. But yeah, the ease with which he would do it. And she described his eyes as demonic. I'm not like I'm personally not an organized religion guy, and I'm not one of these, spirits everywhere kind of guy. It's just not me. Other people feel that way. But, there are some people who, whether or not they're born more predisposed to it or not, I'd like to think they're not born evil, but they develop that, and they really are the full image of evil. And he, without a doubt, was that. And unfortunately, when it came to all the corrupt things he did around, obviously all the trafficking and horrible abuse, he was a guy who was obviously effective at his job, and that gave him more and more access to abuse the most vulnerable people. Kids. So
Do you think
Bro,
he saw him?
like, it kind of sucks, man, when someone's speaking on like such a touchy subject and you can tell he does not care.
Yeah.
So it's like, why speak on it, bro?
I felt the same thing. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like,
lack
what?
of authenticity. It's just kind of like
Yeah.
like well, it goes even further. It's like he doesn't even believe what he's saying.
Wow.
Like he's not even.
Wow.
And then you
Even
see like
he admitted it though. This is Jack, right?
yeah,
All right, Jack Neel even said, like, is this guy even real? I haven't met him. I haven't met victims. He's putting his cards out there. Like, this guy's just like going with the flow. Oh, people care about the Epstein bet. Like, I'm gonna just egg it on. Like, yeah.
if you see like when Jack had commented here, like how quickly he kind of dismissed what he just said and was like about to like obviously the whole Epstein thing's like real and all this and that, but
Yeah, I'm
I think
sure.
Jack is starting to sense that some of what he's saying, like you said earlier, is like theatrical. Like it's not saying that these things didn't happen, but it's that like I think he's almost starting to sense that this other guy is kind of performing.
Yeah, like joining the brain rot. I don't know.
And Jack is very much one of those that like he's trying to really pull out as much like substance as he can from the interview. And I think when he's starting to sense that the guy's kind of like speaking like nothing burgers, almost like saying trigger words, but he's not really going into much. He's kind of, you see him kind of
Yeah,
like
he's
trying
like,
to reroute. And
yeah, the most vulnerable, kids.
yeah, the way
What?
he said it was very like scripted, unauthentic, kind of,
Yeah.
because like all that stuff
But
really did happen, but it's just like the way he's saying it is like I don't know. Especially with the pods and stuff, it's much more powerful when they're very authentic and when you can kind of sense that they know they're being recorded and they're almost like performing and they're not very authentic. It's kind of like
Yeah, for sure.
Himself as I don't know how to word this properly, but like this type of abuse, perhaps, was that his main priority, or do you think his main priority was money, something else? Like, do you think that's just in with the behavior?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
We can review some of the tape we have of Jeffrey Epstein, and some really way smarter psychologists than me can really paint a picture. I don't think he was dumb. There's people who love to say this guy wasn't particularly intelligent or whatever. I think that's a mistake. I think the guy, forget all the evil shit he did. I'm saying, like, from an intelligence perspective of like, what can you do and how can you process people and things and business and stuff. I've known people like him, especially when they got that, kind of Coney Island accent or whatever. It puts people at ease. There's something in the average person, especially people that run in high circles, that they're like, ah, yeah, this fucking guy. And then you're with him for a half hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and suddenly you're like, woo, I really underestimated this person. He's clicking. It's not always like, oh, would this guy get a 1600 on the 2-part SAT? That's not what I mean. That's not. Intelligence is a combination of a lot of things, and there's different planes of it. And I think Jeffrey Epstein, I think he was better at some financial things than people want to give him credit for, unfortunately. I do think when he talked about science, he wasn't dumb, but he would try to impress people, and he'd be a charlatan and overshoot his actual intelligence on some of it. That doesn't mean he didn't click on some other things with it, but I think there's good evidence for that. But I also think he unfortunately had a really keen feel for human weakness, and he knew how to manipulate in unbelievable ways. One of the things Lisa told me that was like, whoa, was he would send her on meetings, for jobs oftentimes like in LA, where the expectation would be she'd be when she was there. He was sending her he was trafficking her to other people under the guise of, you're going to get this job, and he would expect her to be abused by them. And she said that when she would leave these meetings, because she said in most of those meetings she was not, and she said no matter what, when she left them, he would call her and he would be frantically asking her what happened. And when she would be like, no, we didn't hook up or anything like that, because that's how she'd put it, he'd be like, what? Why not? And he would just ask her every question about every step of what happened along the way. And as she's explaining this to me, I'm like, oh my God, this guy was studying situations like that the way Bill Belichick and Tom Brady would study tape of defenses. Like, he was sickly in love with the dark game that he was in. And I don't know, that was another thing she said that really, really stuck out to me. That
he was obsessed with trying to understand how to take advantage of
how to be the best monster. And I don't know, I guess I'm really privileged to have been raised in a great home by great parents and in a great environment around so many great people.
He's just yapping.
That, like, that doesn't...
Yeah.
Like, he literally's like, forget all the evil shit he did right after he mentions the kids. That's how he doesn't stand on anything, man. He's not standing on nothing.
Yeah, I don't
He's like,
like
one of those, like, I play both sides. It's like, dang.
Yeah, he definitely folds. I don't like him personally. I was sitting here like trying to listen to him. I'm like, I'm like, damn, because I had the thought, I'm like, bro, I don't even want to.
Yeah.
I'm not interested to even check out his channel or anything at all.
At this point, we should watch the Epstein interview. Like his last video or something. It came out not too long ago.
Okay.
That should be like a...
What time do you have to go?
like now, low key.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying like
Next time?
bro, yeah,
Yeah,
because
we
he
can
was
do that.
spitting game on there, yo. If you've seen the Epstein interview, like
I seen the
people
one where he's
know he
talking
was,
about like money and stuff.
yes, he was on there just like going, like he knew he was about to get caught up,
This
like, and he was just spitting game.
the
It was like
biggest
free game.
the biggest issue that I have with him, like people trying to claim that he's dead and whatnot. I'm like, with all the blackmail stuff that's confirmed that he knows, like, you really think he didn't have a dead man switch? Meaning, like,
Mm.
should he get arrested? Should he die? This releases. Like, are you really telling me that he didn't have any? Because if he's gonna die, whatever, like, he's gonna take people down with. He's gonna expose this or that he has on him.
But then it's like then you got situations like Juice WRLD. He could probably afford the death man's switch. But then it's like, you know what I mean?
But I mean, like, with Epstein and stuff, the way they did business was a lot of times they would set some of these people up to have blackmail on them to get them to do
Yep.
certain things that they wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, if they're gonna throw him under and put him in jail, he's gonna be like, all right, bet. Well, I'm gonna release.
These videos.
So that's, I mean, it's to me, it's pretty clear that it's like a staged fake death, so that they can kind of.
But Diddy did the same thing. That's what's like so ironic about all this.
I mean,
And
did
then
he?
then they're saying Michael Jackson was doing the same. So
Well,
it's like at this point, it's like, bro,
they're trying to
who
put
knows?
they're trying to put like Michael Jackson down. Like that's
And he was the one on the opposite team.
yeah. They were saying like he was trying to help
Mm-hmm.
the victims and things out, and that's why he was killed. And the reason I believe it is because if you look into his,
But
like,
so
he had such a rough childhood, and that's why he had like an obsession with children because he was trying to make them have like the best childhood that he never had, kind of thing.
But it's like it makes me think like why should we believe anything anyone says?
Yeah, well, that's you got to look into all of it because it's
Yeah.
all propaganda and there's an agenda behind it at this point, and
Yeah.
them boys.
Concluding, just generate your own opinion about things, whether it's if it's gonna rain outside or not. Like you wanna go outside or go watch the news. Like it's what one of my coaches used to say. Look at the damn sky.
Yeah.
You guys are on your apps. Get out here and look at the damn sky. You wasting time on your phones. I'm like, he is onto something there.
Yeah.
You could be getting that work in. It happens, it happens. It doesn't. But, busy like, peace and love. God is great.
Peace.
Yeah, that's smooth. Like, I didn't expect this guy to be like